a couple of other technical things, though. For the formal meditation, it's called practice because it's practice, right? Wouldn't it be silly if you were, like Steph Curry and you're like the greatest three-point shooter of all time, and you spend all this time practicing, and they do. They don't just go out there and they go, oh, what a wonderful natural. All these people that are wonderful naturals spend insane amounts of time practicing, and they have to love it or they can't do that. And they can't just love the game. They have to love the practice too. But it's practice. What if they only practiced and they never actually got and played the game? So playing the game is leading your life in that flow state, which just means that you're relaxed. You're not constantly feeling, I've got to have this in order to be happy, and I got to keep that away in order to be happy. Yeah. Other great almost all tips for meditation are about the preparations for meditation. The meditation itself, there's almost nothing to say. It helps if you can have a straight posture, by the way, if you get the spine erect, and it doesn't help if you're very, very tense and you're trying to force yourself to sit cross-legged. If you can, cross-legged is the best, definitely. It has a lot of advantages, but if you're spending your entire time feeling like my knee's going to actually explode, it interferes with your focus. Yeah. So it's got to be comfortable. It's got to be steady and comfortable. Spine erect if possible. But even if you're sick or if you have a physical condition where you can't even sit up anymore, you might be one of the great meditators on the planet. I know people like that. Nothing prevents you from going into samadhi, having full enlightenment. I just heard Gurudev answering that question on a video, so it's fresh in my mind. Yeah. Yeah, he said, don't worry about that. they said I was in an accident and I can't sit up anymore. Can I experience samadhis? He said, absolutely. Don't worry about that. He said, it's the only tricky part about having to lie down. It's the most comfortable, but we know what happens. But you can fall asleep quite well cross-legged too. This is called Nada Yoga. You see a lot of that. It's okay. Be kind. A lot of those people don't know that they're even doing that. You'll ask them afterward, no, I didn't sleep. It's at least you'll get a good sleep, in front of a good altar or in a group of folks. Hopefully not snoring. Someone will wake you up if you're snoring. If you go to those Zen masters, they come and hit you with a stick. Not to hurt you. Just to wake you up. Conducive things for meditation is everything that we do here in our group meditations, which you're getting a taste of. Is pretty much, like a perfect laboratory example of everything that we find the most helpful. Doing a little chanting, like kirtan style chanting, or some little prayer slokas, Om Namah Shivaya Gurave. And it reminds you of things that are inspiring to you. So if you can learn some of that, we always do a little Hari Om chanting before we go into silence. Hari Om, very beneficial for bringing anything that brings the energy up to the heart or above is very helpful. Yeah. Pranayama. All these things, by the way, are the best thing. the steady posture, the erect spine. Just a little adjustment sometimes, by the way, when you're sitting. And if you're very distracted, if you just look at the spine, look at the crown of the head. By look, I mean just feel. And just feel that you're lifting it just slightly. Not sitting at attention, stiffly. Not that at all. Just very subtle. And suddenly, you're much more focused. Little chanting, pranayama. The other absolute best thing you can do is to do some yoga breathing practices. Difference between pranayama and breathing exercises, I already told you. If you're going to call it yoga, which you're certainly doing if you call it pranayama, it has to be done meditatively. You have to meditate on the practice. The best things, some Bhastrika to wake you up, or Kapalabhati, the rapid diaphragmatic breathing. Just what we teach here. A little bit of that. No strain. Never any strain with pranayama. It's too powerful. It really is. You could hurt yourself, but you'll never hurt yourself if you stay within the guidelines that we're showing. And then some alternate nostril breathing. Tremendous for calming and centering. And then, like I said, a little sung chanting, kirtan, we call it. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om. We always end with that and just drift off from that into the silent meditation. Things like that are great. If you can't devote a whole room for meditation where you live, if you can, maybe you can do a corner of a room somewhere and put up a little screen so that when you walk into it, you feel like, oh, I'm going into the meditation chamber. These are fun things. It helps. Little spiritual materialism. Get a set of clothes, light, comfortable clothes, maybe white, pale blue, pale green, something like that, that you only ever wear for meditation. Will you do this every time? And I can't possibly meditate because my baggage was lost. So now I can't meditate in the hotel. Absolutely not. None of these things are an excuse to not meditate. But having clothing that you only wear for meditation, not even your hatha clothing, even though I told you that's a meditation, but for the sitting, quieting the mind, particular meditation, nice to have clothing that you only wear for that. Why? Because they do this in Judaism. You have a prayer shawl. They probably do it in a lot of other religions. But when you put that on, you feel like you're wrapped in prayer. So when you put on your meditation, and you could have a shawl, but it depends what you like. But when you put on that clothes, it will have developed the vibration of what you've done over and over again in that clothing. So you put it on, and already your clothing is going Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. A little less Timbuktu, a lot more Om Shanti. Sounds like a country western store song. What else is helpful? The key to the whole thing, though, I said earlier, is satkara, enthusiasm and love. How do you develop that? Probably the single most important thing is being around like-hearted people, which is not a plug for you to come back again and again to retreats. But please don't come. No, we love it. You don't know how much we love this, because every time you come, we get to dip into this wonderful silence that you've created. It's very invigorating for us. And it's a blessing for the ashram. Hopefully it's a blessing for you. But you can't always come to these things. So make your whole life that way. Make your house an ashram. Where does the ashram end, by the way? People at the end of retreats always say, what am I going to do when I go back? I shouldn't tell you that you're going to do that ahead of time. You don't have to. But people always say, how am I going to go back home? Well, my question about that is, where does the ashram end? How puny is this? You think this is great and you liked it a lot? I'm assuming you did. If you didn't like it, then it's real easy. Thank God. I'm going to stop and get a burger. Yeah. But you can go beyond burgers now. I saw somebody leaving Costco the other day with like an enormous, Costco size package of Beyond Burgers. So if even Costco is selling like, industrial size, 48 Beyond Burgers, for your every need. Yeah. But you don't have to think of the ashram as just stopping here. Take it with you. If you love lotus and it's noon, think, oh, they're meditating in lotus. Just pause wherever you are. God will take care of the time difference. Where it's noon where you are, think, okay, lotus, they're meditating. Really, I recommend that. You don't have to do the time change if you're in a different time zone. And just pause, even if you're in the middle of Costco, for example, lugging out some enormous package of something or other. you can just pause, just even for a breath or two, and just think of the fragrance of lotus. And think about what you saw when you did what? In the All-Faith Hall? You went to the Shinto exhibit and you bent down low and looked in to see God. Think about that, and you'll connect with it immediately. Yeah. Other ways that you can have the company of like-minded seekers is hopefully where you live. There's some classes or study groups. My wife and I do a Zoom every Wednesday night, 7:30 to 9 our time here. It's open to anybody who wants, on the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, which are the scripture that Gurudev probably quoted the most, which I quoted to you quite a bit here. And so things like that are nice reminders. Or it's great if it's in person and there's something in your place where you can go and chant, where you can go take a Hatha Yoga class. Hatha Yoga is great meditation. A really good class should have some formal meditation at the end. It should have some pranayama and deep relaxation, which are very subtle. Integral yoga is very nice that way. Not that it's the only, really good Hatha Yoga out there, but it is. No, edit that out. It's definitely one of the best, at least in my experience. A lot of us started like 50, 60 years ago, and we went into that first class and that was it. Game over. We just felt something. I hope that still happens for you. And so you can get reinforcement for your love of the practice. That's the most important thing, because without that, it's hard. Keep in touch with like-hearted people, even one or two. Jesus says, wherever two or more, I love this quote. You know the quote? Wherever two or more are gathered in my name. So you just need one other person. I'm there. That's what he says, right? Isn't that great? So that's what you need. Find somebody and, get together, read the Golden Present for the day. Just that little page in Gurudev's great book of daily quotes. Something to keep the juice going. Yeah. I'm sure I left out some stuff that's on the sheet. What did I leave out that's important, golly? Nothing jumping out at you? Let's, why don't we meditate a little bit and close here. We're almost to the end of our hour and a half. And God willing, I'm going to see you again. You might be thinking, on on Tuesday morning for Q&A right near the end. So that's where you'll get the chance to pass up all these angry notes and saying, how dare you say that life isn't hell? We get a lot of that. Yoga actually says that when you awaken, which is what meditation is all about, it's not just for fun or getting your closets well organized. Not that that isn't a wonderful aspiration, which I hope to have someday. but it's so much more than that. They said that the world itself, what looked like a hell, can become a heaven. That's hard to believe, isn't it? The world looks so hellish. Like this is new, by the way. It's been pretty bad for lots of folks for a long, long time. But it can become a heaven. How? If you awaken to the fact that this is your game. You're in charge of the whole thing. Yeah. But not in some sort of kind of wild, egomaniacal villain type of way. Because the idea is that we're one with each other and all of nature, all of creation. You're in trouble if you say, I'm God. I've got it now. I'm God. And you're not. Then you're in big trouble. Yoga does not promote that crazy idea. Okay, let's just sit quietly. Oh, favorite quote from Gurudev on meditation, one of them. I think it's on the sheet. He said, whenever you feel a little bit peaceful, just close your eyes during the day and just meditate for a minute or two. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Let us never forget that every moment of peace and love and joy, which are all one, Any moment of that is wasted. It goes to the entire universe, not even just the whole world. If it wasn't for people generating that, it would be a very different world. This world is filled with love. It's filled with good people. It's filled with selflessness and beauty. Jai Krishna.